Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, you pay in cash, because hey, some of us still do that, and you get some pennies back in change. You barely glance at them before shoving them into your pocket. But what if I told you, one of those pennies could be worth over $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. A tiny, everyday 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth a whopping $1.1 million. That's not just lunch money, that's life-changing money. And today, we're diving deep into what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and why you should start checking your spare change ASAP. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just be a millionaire in the making. Most pennies have a little letter under the date, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if your 2016 penny is missing that mark, you might be looking at something special. Wait, I have a ton of pennies without a mint mark. Are they all valuable? Good question. Most of them aren't, but here's where it gets interesting. A rare batch of error coins was accidentally struck at the Philadelphia Mint without the usual mint mark. This mistake went unnoticed until collectors started finding them and realizing they were something extraordinary. The reason this penny is worth over $1 million comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. Not many of these error coins were made. That makes them super hard to find. Coin collectors love rare errors. The more collectors want it, the higher the price goes. If your penny is in near perfect shape, meaning it hasn't been through the washing machine 100 times, it could be worth the big bucks. Just imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny and walking out with enough money to buy a house, a dream car, or an entire island if you're into that. Alright, so now you're probably reaching for that penny jar, right? Here's how to check if you have a winner. If there's no D or S under the date, you might be onto something. Coins in the best shape are worth the most. If it's shiny and looks brand new, jackpot. If you think you have a valuable one, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity. But if you find one, don't just toss it in your couch cushions. You could be sitting on $1 million payday now. Let me tell you a little story. A few months ago, I was at a gas station, and the cashier handed me some change. I did what most people do, shoved it in my pocket without a second glance. Later that night, I was scrolling through rare coin listings, because, yes, I'm that kind of person, and I saw a post about the 2016 no mint mark penny. I thought, I should check my change. I found a 2016 penny with no mint mark. My heart raced. Could it be the one? Was I holding $1 million coin? I took it to a coin dealer the next day, and, well, turns out, it was just a regular penny. But hey, the thrill was real. And now, I check every single penny that comes my way. You never know when you might hit the jackpot. That little copper coin in your pocket could be worth over $1 million. And even if you don't find one today, make it a habit, because there are so many valuable coins out there just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins worth serious money, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos on the rarest, most valuable coins, plus strategies to help you turn pocket change into big bucks. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Who knows? Maybe one of you will be the next coin millionaire. Hey, coin hunters. Have you ever looked at a regular penny and thought, man, this could be worth a fortune? Well, guess what? It absolutely can. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising, mind-blowing, life-changing pennies out there, the 1985 D Lincoln penny. Yep, that little copper coin you might have in your couch cushions could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. But before you start digging through your spare change like a pirate searching for buried treasure, let's break down exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how you can tell if you have one, and what you should do if you strike it rich. And stick around, because I've got a personal story that'll make you rethink every penny you've ever tossed into a tip jar. First things first, the 1985 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark under the date. Now, most of these pennies are only worth, well, a penny. But, like that one kid in high school who was way better at sports than everyone else, a few special ones stand out from the crowd. The main reason this penny is worth over $1.2 million is because of a rare error. And not just any error, this is a major one. Some 1985 D pennies were struck using a leftover proof die from the San Francisco Mint, giving them an ultra-sharp design and a mirror-like finish. That's like accidentally printing a rare Pokemon card on holographic paper when it wasn't supposed to be. Collectors go crazy for these mistakes because they're super rare. Think about it, out of billions of pennies minted in 1985, only a handful of these special error coins exist now. You're probably thinking, okay, how do I know if I have one of these golden tickets disguised as a penny? Great question. Here's what to look for: it should be slightly misaligned or have a bold, double-stamped look. If it looks shinier than your average penny and has an almost glassy finish, that's a good sign. Check Lincoln's profile and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If they have a slight double image, bingo, you might have a winner. Some of these error pennies were accidentally struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc. A regular 1985D penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but the rare error can weigh 3.1 grams. So, if you have a scale, time to put it to work. Now, if you find a penny that matches these details, do not just toss it back in your piggy bank. That's like finding a winning lottery ticket and using it as a bookmark. If you think you have a rare 1985D penny, here's what to do: don't clean it seriously, just don't. Cleaning coins can lower their value faster than a car losing value the second you drive it off the lot. Take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify if it's legit. Some of these pennies have sold for over $1.2 million at auction. That's enough to buy a house, a fancy car, and still have money left over for unlimited tacos. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. A few years back, I was going through my old piggy bank, just casually rolling coins like a responsible adult. I had this super shiny penny from the 80s, but I figured, it's just a penny. So, I tossed it in the coin jar. Fast forward a week, I see an article about a rare penny selling for 6 figures, and it looked just like the one I threw in the jar. I ran back to check, but, you guessed it, my lovely wife had already cashed in the jar at the bank. Gone. Forever. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know when a penny could be worth more than your car. Alright, folks, now you know why the 1985D Lincoln penny is worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million and how you can check if you have one. So, go grab your coin jars, check under your couch cushions, and maybe even raid your grandma's penny stash, with permission, of course. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another valuable coin tip. I post regular videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and all the ways you can turn pocket change into real money. Have you ever found a valuable coin? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone! Imagine finding a random penny in your pocket and later realizing it's worth $1.3 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's a reality for some lucky collectors out there, and today, I'm going to tell you all about the 2008 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, the tiny little copper coin that could change your life. Before you start emptying your couch cushions or raiding your piggy bank, stick around because I'm breaking down why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what makes it different from the millions of other 2008 pennies floating around. Plus, I'll share a funny story about how I once almost cashed in a valuable coin, but didn't. Spoiler alert, I still regret it. Most coins have a little letter stamped on them, like a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, telling you where they were made. But some pennies, like this 2008 version, don't have a mint mark at all. These are usually made in Philadelphia, but what makes this one special is a combination of errors, rarity, and high demand from collectors. You're probably thinking, okay, so it's missing a tiny letter, big deal. Why does that make it worth a fortune? Well, here's where things get crazy. A batch of 2008 pennies was struck on a rare transitional planchet, meaning they weren't made with the usual metal composition. Instead of the standard 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, some were accidentally struck using an older pure copper alloy, making them significantly heavier and unique. Combine that with the fact that only a few of these pennies escaped into circulation, and bam, you've got yourself a jackpot coin. How do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. If your 2008 penny is missing a D or S, that's step 1. A regular 2008 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare one is heavier, around 3.1 grams due to the copper composition. The valuable penny has a richer, reddish tint compared to standard pennies, and it often looks more lustrous. It might sound weird, but if you drop it on a table, a solid copper penny will make a higher pitched ring than a standard zinc-based one. If your penny checks all these boxes, congratulations! You might be sitting on a small fortune now. Let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years back, I was sorting through some old change when I came across a weird looking penny. It had no mint mark, looked a bit shinier than the rest, and felt slightly heavier, also nope. I spent it at a vending machine for a bag of chips. Fast forward to a few months later, I learned about this rare 2008 penny and realized I might have literally eaten my fortune. Let's just say I've been checking every penny ever since. Lesson learned: always double check your spare change. So, what happens if you do find one of these bad boys? Here's your game plan: use a precise digital scale to confirm it's heavier than a regular penny, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its rarity. Coins like this have been sold at auctions for over $1.3 million, so connect with reputable numismatic auction houses. Alright, folks, that's the wild story of the 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.3 million. Who knew a tiny little coin could be worth more than a luxury house? Now, before you rush off to check your change jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you love learning about valuable coins. I post videos on rare finds, coin hunting strategies, and the insane world of numismatics, and if you ever find a valuable penny, don't be like me and waste it on snacks. Keep it safe, get it checked, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky collector to strike it rich. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, maybe enough for a coffee. You pull out a few pennies, not thinking much of them until you realize one of them could be worth $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, over $1 million for a single 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into why this little copper coin is making waves in the coin collecting world. I'll tell you what makes it valuable, how to check if you have one, and of course, the best way to cash in if you strike gold, well, copper in this case. Plus, I've got a funny story about the time I nearly spent a rare coin at a vending machine, so stick around. Back in 1979, the US Mint was cranking out pennies like there was no tomorrow. Most of them were produced at different mint locations, which meant they had mint marks, either a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But every now and then, a coin would slip through the cracks with no mint mark at all. These pennies were made in Philadelphia, which at the time didn't put mint marks on their coins, and now, you might be thinking, okay, but why is this specific penny worth so much? Great question. It's not just about missing the mint mark, it's about rare errors, pristine condition, and demand from collectors. Some of these pennies have mistakes, double dies, off-center strikes, or even the highly sought-after wide rim variety where the numbers on the date are unusually close to the rim. If your 1979 penny has any of these quirks, you might be sitting on a fortune. Coins are graded on a scale, with MS, mint state, 60 and above being the real winners. If your penny has been chilling in a jar for decades without a scratch, it could be in pristine condition. A nearly flawless 1979 penny is what gets the jaw-dropping $1.4 million valuation. Collectors go wild for rare coins, and when there's a limited supply of a specific kind, the price skyrockets. There aren't many of these high-grade 1979 no mint mark pennies floating around, which is why they're so valuable to grab a magnifying glass, or just zoom in with your phone camera like a modern-day detective. That it should say 1979, and there should be no mint mark below the year. Double lettering, weird rim spacing, or off-center stamping. If it looks like it just came out of the bank, you might have a rare high-grade coin, and if you think you've got something special, don't clean the coin. I know, you want it to shine, but cleaning it can actually decrease its value. Instead, take it to a coin expert or a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A few years back, I was at a vending machine craving a snack. I grabbed a handful of pennies from my car's cup holder and was about to drop one in when I noticed something weird. The penny looked old, but it was in perfect shape, almost too perfect. I decided to hold on to it, just in case. Fast forward a week, I did some research and found out it was a rare error penny from the 70s. I took it to a coin shop, and let me tell you, I've never been more thankful for a sudden craving for chips in my life. That penny wasn't $1 million coin, but it was still worth a few $1,000. Always check your spare change before spending it on snacks. You never know when a single penny could change your life. The 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.4 million. If you've got a piggy bank full of pennies, now's the time to go digging. And if you do find one, don't forget who told you about it. Before you go, make sure to subscribe for more crazy coin facts, money-making strategies, and treasure hunting tips. I've got tons of videos coming up that could help you turn pocket change into a fortune, so hit that bell icon too. And hey, let me know in the comments what's the coolest coin you've ever found. Maybe your next big payday is sitting in your wallet right now. Alright, let's get real for a second. How often do you actually check your pocket change? Probably not as much as you should, right? Well, after today, you might start checking every single penny. Because lurking in your couch cushions, your car's cup holder, or even that old piggy bank from when you were a kid, there could be a 1969 D Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard that right, one little copper penny could change your life. So today, we're diving deep into this legendary coin. We'll cover what makes it valuable, what to look for, and how you could potentially turn a single cent into a fortune. But before we get into that, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Yes, I nearly cost myself a small fortune. The story of my almost $1 million mistake. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car because, let's be honest, it was a disaster. Loose change, old receipts, a half-eaten granola bar, the usual. As I was scooping up the coins to toss into one of those Coinstar machines, something caught my eye, a really old, worn-out penny. It was a 1969 D. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I mean, it's just a penny, right? A week later, I was watching a coin collector's video, and they were talking about a 1969 D penny worth over $1 million. My heart dropped. I tore my apartment apart trying to find that penny, but it was too late. Gone forever. Probably sitting in some bank's coin roll, waiting for someone luckier than me to find it. Now, let's talk business. What's so special about this coin? Well, there are a few things that can make a 1969 D Lincoln penny extremely valuable. Some of these pennies have what's called a double die obverse, meaning the lettering in Lincoln's face looks slightly doubled. If you see that, you might be holding a fortune. If your penny looks crisp, shiny, and barely touched, it's worth even more. Collectors love high-quality coins. Some 1969 D pennies were struck with small mistakes that make them one of a kind. The rarer the error, the higher the value. Point. One of these pennies in top condition sold for $1.5 million at an auction. Imagine that, turning a penny into a mansion, a sports car, or heck, a lifetime supply of tacos. So now you're probably thinking, okay, I need to check my pennies. But what do I do if I actually find one? Use a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom feature to check for doubling on the letters in Lincoln's face. Seriously, never clean an old coin. It can lower its value faster than a bad haircut. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly how much it's worth. If it's a rare one, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers are your best bet. If it's valuable but not super rare, eBay or local coin shops can still get you a nice payday. The 1969 D penny that could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to make someone rich. If you're not checking your change after this video, I don't know what to tell you. Now, before you run off to dig through your piggy bank, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos every week on rare coins, hidden treasures, and how you can turn everyday pocket change into big money. And hey, if you ever find a rare penny worth millions, drop a comment and let me know. I promise I won't be too jealous. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about hidden treasures in your pocket change. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny on the ground, picked it up, and thought, hey, free money? Well, what if I told you that a 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.6 million? Yeah, that little copper coin you probably toss in a jar without a second thought might just be the golden ticket. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you own, let's dive into what makes this specific coin so valuable. We're going to cover its history, what to look for, and most importantly, how you can cash in if you're lucky enough to have one. So stick around, because this is one penny story you don't want to miss. A quick history of the 1966 Lincoln penny. Alright, let's rewind to 1966. Gas was 32 cents a gallon, the Beatles were topping the charts, and the US Mint was doing something a little different with coins. From 1965 to 1967, the Mint temporarily stopped using mint marks to discourage hoarding. So, no matter where your 1966 penny was made, whether in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, it won't have a little D or S under the date. Now, normally, that would make these pennies less special, but here's where it gets interesting. There are a couple of reasons this 1966 penny has hit insane values at auction. Some of these pennies were struck with doubling errors, called double die obverse, off-center strikes, or even wrong metal compositions. These mistakes make them ultra-rare and highly desirable to collectors. If your penny looks like it's been run over by a truck and chewed by a dog, it's probably not hitting the $1 million mark. But a flawless, uncirculated version? That's where the real money is. Some people collect stamps. Others collect vintage vinyl. And then there are people willing to pay over $1 million for a tiny copper coin. The demand is huge, which drives the price sky high. Now, this is the fun part, checking your change like a treasure hunter. Here's what you should look for if it has a D or S. Sorry, that's not the one. If the letters or numbers look doubled, weirdly off-center, or stretched, bingo. If you think you've got the real deal, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its value. My penny hunting fail. Alright, confession time. A while back, I was 100% convinced I had found a rare penny. I grabbed my magnifying glass, my little flashlight, and my best detective skills. I was sweating with excitement, imagining the mansion I was going to buy with my new millionaire status, took it to a coin shop, and the guy looks at me, chuckles, and says, "Buddy, this is worth exactly 1 cent. Ouch. Turns out, I was looking at a regular 1966 penny, no errors, no special markings. Just a penny. But hey, it was still a fun adventure, and now I know what to really look for. That random coin at the bottom of your drawer could be worth life-changing money. And even if you don't find $1 million penny, there are still plenty of coins out there worth big bucks. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. I'll be bringing you more coin hunting tips, fun stories, and strategies to turn your spare change into serious cash. Now, go grab that jar of pennies and start hunting. Who knows? You might just be holding your next big payday. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever emptied your pocket, stared at a penny, and thought, "Meh, just another 1-cent piece"? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins from 1973 could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, you heard that right, million with an M. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, let's dive into the story of the 1973 D Lincoln penny and why it's making collectors go absolutely nuts. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna be checking every single penny you find, even the one stuck to the bottom of your car's cup holder. But make it fun, alright? Before we get to the serious money talk, let's rewind to 1973. Picture this: bell-bottom jeans are all the rage, Elvis is still king, and gas costs about 40 cents per gallon. Meanwhile, the US Mint in Denver is churning out millions of Lincoln pennies, most of which are worth, well, a penny. Somewhere in that batch, a handful of these 1973 D pennies were struck with a rare error or anomaly that makes them incredibly valuable today. And no, it's not because Abe Lincoln looks extra handsome on this one. So, why is this specific penny worth more than a Lamborghini? Here's the deal: some 1973 D pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally printed on a metal disc meant for a different coin. This makes them super rare. That's a fancy way of saying Lincoln's face and the letters on the front have a slightly doubled appearance. If you need to squint, it's probably not the one. Some of these pennies were stamped off-center, meaning the design is a little crooked. It's like the mint had one too many cups of coffee that day. If you have a 1973 D penny that looks like it just rolled off the mint's assembly line yesterday, you might be holding a goldmine. Coins in near-perfect condition, graded MS-67 or higher, can be worth big bucks. One of these rare 1973 D pennies, with the right errors and in top condition, was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction. Imagine explaining that to your bank: "Yes, I'd like to deposit this single penny into my account and buy a mansion with it." Alright, time to get practical. Here's how you can check if your penny is worth more than just 1 cent. Flip that penny over. If it has a little D below the year 1973, you're on the right track. The D stands for Denver Mint. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, or your washing machine, it's probably not worth millions. The shinier, the better. Check for any doubling on the letters or Lincoln's face. If Honest Abe looks like he has a shadow, you might be in business. The normal weight of a 1973 penny is 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, it could be a rare error coin. If your penny checks all these boxes, don't just throw it back in your piggy bank. Get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. A high grade could mean big money. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my grandpa's coin jar. It was a 1973 D, and I swear it looked perfect. I was already planning my luxury vacation, maybe even a yacht, until I got it checked by a coin expert. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. Worth exactly 1 cent, but hey, that's the fun of coin collecting. You never know when you'll stumble upon the one. And let me tell you, after that experience, I now check every single penny like I'm a detective on a high-stakes mission. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1973 D Lincoln penny worth $1.7 million. Who knew a tiny little coin could be worth more than a house, right? Now, before you rush off to check your change jar, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I've got more hidden treasures to share with you. And hey, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? Or did you, like me, think you had one, only to find out it was just pocket change? Hey there, coin lovers! Imagine this, you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change, and bam, you find a penny. No big deal, right? Just 1 cent. But what if I told you that little copper coin could actually be worth a staggering $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has turned everyday pocket change into life-changing paydays. So grab your coin jar, because by the end of this video, you might just be a millionaire. Well, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare gems, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and where you can sell it for top dollar. Plus, I'll share a little personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin by accident, and trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. Okay, so you might be wondering, it's just a 2006 penny, what's the big deal? Well, this particular penny is an error coin, meaning something went wrong during production at the US Mint. Normally, pennies minted in 2006 should have a mint mark, a little letter under the year that tells you where it was made. A D means Denver, an S means San Francisco, and a P, or nothing at all, means Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, this rare penny was minted in Philadelphia but completely lacks a mint mark, making it an oddball among its peers. It's like showing up to a party where everyone is wearing name tags, and you're the only one without one. People are going to notice, these errors are super rare, and collectors will pay big bucks for one in pristine condition. So, how do you know if you have the golden ticket of pennies? Here's what to look for, check under the date. If there's no little letter, you might have a winner. The coin should have crisp features, with Lincoln's profile looking sharp and clear. Weight and composition. Some of these rare pennies have an unusual composition error, so weighing your coin could be a smart move. But if you're not sure, there are coin grading services that can authenticate your penny and tell you if it's worth serious cash. Alright, story time. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old desk drawer and found a handful of pennies. I was about to toss them in a tip jar when I noticed one looked different, a 1982 no-mint mark penny. At first, I thought, meh, just another old coin. But something told me to check. And guess what? That little penny turned out to be worth over $500. If I hadn't looked twice, I would have given away a small fortune for a cup of coffee. Always check your spare change. You never know what might be hiding in there. So, let's say you do find a 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, congrats. Now what? Here's where you can cash in. Some of these pennies have been auctioned for over $1 million. A good dealer can verify your coin's value and make you an offer. Big collectors attend these events looking for rare finds. Get your penny graded by PCGS or NGC, which can increase its value. If you're not in a rush to sell, you can even hold on to it. Rare coins tend to appreciate in value over time. The little 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.8 million. And you don't want to be the person who accidentally spends it on a pack of gum. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more coin hunting strategies, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on valuable coin tips. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, that's it for today. Happy coin hunting, and may your pockets be full of rare pennies. See you in the next video.